Level up!
How's it going there, guys? My name is Tenacious Tooch. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about the Monster Hunter film. We got a trailer for it a little while back. I'm a little bit late to the party, excuse me for that. But I just want to talk about 5 things that I want to see from the film. Now, if you're not familiar with the game franchise, it is a role-playing game, I guess, based around the idea of hunting monsters. That's what you are. It's as simple as that. But you do it with big fuck-off weapons. And basically, it has been an absolute sort of cult hit, worked its way right from the PS2 all the way up to even the Nintendo Switch these days. And it's an I believe it's on Nintendo Switch. And it's an absolutely fantastic sort of segue into goofy and stupid fun gaming. But yeah, today I want to highlight 5 things that I want to see from this movie, and some of these might be a little bit much to ask for, and I'm really hoping not. But to start with, I've got my list here: world building. Now, this seems like a very minor detail, but if you've got a movie set in an area of time or a specific fantasy world genre, and you've not built the world well enough, you're not setting enough of a background story for you to be fully invested. Yes, you might have a main character and a plot, but the world that they're living in is equally as important. So from this, I'd like to see the villages, the focus on crafting and trade, all sorts of things that is linked with Monster Hunter. It would be absolutely fantastic to see, specifically in the costume design as well, the set design. I want it to be done right, and there is absolutely no guarantee of that, especially having seen what we started the trailer with the modern Marines or US soldiers coming in, driving through the desert and getting sucked into this world. You'd think that they would manage to do the world building right, because we'll be seeing this world. They'll be seeing this world through our eyes, completely new, completely fresh. It might give them a chance to do it right. Let's hope. But let's move on to my point number 2: to be tonally consistent. As I stated before, Monster Hunter is inherently goofy. It is very, very fun to play. It can have its serious moments, but for the most part, the characters are goofy, the expressions are goofy, it's all overplayed, very melodramatic, but that's part of its charm. But already in the first few seconds of watching the trailer, we had 2 separate sort of jokey little quips from 2 of the soldiers.
So what? Are we like Guardians of the Galaxy now?
After already setting what appeared to be quite a serious tone. Now, these are 2 soldiers that we've not met. This is the first time we've seen them, that if I'm honest, we're not going to really care about. And from the way that the trailer was going, that the Rathalos was tearing up the scene, they're probably not going to survive either. So it sounds like it's not very important, but if you're going to put in humour like that, we need to get to know the characters first. That's why it works so well in the MCU, specifically in Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers films. That humour works because we're looking at a cast of characters that have been well developed, that we've learned to love. These guys we don't know. It's like a person you've just met making quite a risky joke and you're not quite understanding. Yeah, that's kind of what we're getting here. We don't need that. If we're going to set a tone, let it be consistent. Let it be from there on out. I hope they're the only 2 jokes that we see. I want a nice, consistent, serious tone, because it appears that that's what they're going for. So keep it up. That's all I'm asking for. Let's move on to point number 3. Don't try too hard on the story elements. I know I'm looking down, but ignore it. Got my list. Don't try too hard on the story elements. Monster Hunter has never been a story-driven game. It's always been based around the mechanics and what you can do and the freedom in how you get to choose how you hunt different creatures based on their behaviour and adapting your own behaviour to do so. So trying too hard on the story, it would really be a waste of the property. This game is art. in itself. As I say, the world building would be important, the creatures, the costumes, the sets, but also how we're seeing these characters react, how we're seeing them go about the hunting of the monsters. We need to make sure that's done well. If you can do that well without being too try-hard in the story, you need to have a plot there, but just don't try and throw in all different Easter eggs and everywhere. Your story's been set in the trailer, stick to it. Find the thing, destroy the thing, get out of the thing. Don't overcomplicate it. Next, number 4. Really flesh out the hunting elements. This seems so obvious and I will be so pissed off if they don't do this. So what you got, they need to really flesh out the tracking, the traps. They need to flesh out how to approach different monsters and not just have a single one. As I say, we saw the Rathalos and it's evident that that's going to be our main sort of big bad villain. But there needs to be more hunting beforehand. We need to set up and really build, use the steps and build up to that point. If they can do that well, then, as I say, we'll have a happy audience. I don't think we'll have that happy of an audience because there's already been some hiccups with this trailer. But moving on to my final point, develop the main character as naturally as possible. Now we can see that our main character will be played by Milla Jovovich, which is fantastic. She always seems to get roped into these sort of spin-off films and tie-in films like Hellboy and the Resident Evil series. She's back for Monster Hunter. I think that's fantastic. But what we need is natural development. Now, yes, I wasn't happy that the modern soldier being put into the Monster Hunter world thing was occurring. Why couldn't you just have a film about Monster Hunter? But you got to work with what you've got, and they need to play the cards that they've dealt themselves. And the strength would be to develop this character as naturally as possible. We've seen this character use the Monster Hunter weapons, use, I believe, dual blades or a sword and shield at the end. And I want to be able to see this character develop. And that would also, linking back to a previous point, really give a chance to work on some world development and some world building. I don't want to see her just suddenly be able to use these weapons, pick it up and like some sort of King Arthur shit. No, I want her to properly develop, learn these things over a scale of time, make the time scaling seem natural so that this character can be really believed to be this hero that she's expected to be in the film. At least we hope so. Anyway, those have been my 5 points about the new Monster Hunter film. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe if you like. I'm going to try and be uploading as often as I can for you guys. Anyway, I have been Tenacious Tooch. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.